Losing hope and feeling lost while trying to get to that destination, that big goal, that purpose we set out for. Let's talk about it. Roll it. Welcome back to another video as we continue talking about this whole losing hope, feeling lost, all in that pursuit of awesomeness, greatness, and all the things we want to achieve. For those of you first time here, check out the rest of the videos in the series, and of course subscribe so that you don't miss the rest of the videos coming that will help you get moving in the right direction. Losing hope, feeling lost, this feeling, it's a hard one to deal with. While we move through the journey of attaining that which we seek, we tend to speak a narrative that isn't what we started with. This narrative changes each and every day, and as described in previous videos, it's all based on that emotions that come with whatever positive or negative experience we are having at any one given time. In fact, it changes each and every day, and because of that, that destination will change. It's not that the destination changes as a whole, it's more of how we see that destination becoming. Two things generally happen. We either stick to what we are wanting to do as we are approaching it, and it either becomes something more grandiose than we first expected, or based on negative experiences, it becomes less and less and less. And if we don't keep it in check in our mindset, well, we tend not to even hit what we originally thought we would hit. This is all normal, it's part of life. It happens to all of us, and we all go through it at any one moment in our lives. I'm pretty sure that very few people you have ever met in your life actually achieved everything they wanted to achieve. Now there's three different areas that can affect that final destination, which we just talked about, that grandiose effect, or that self-limiting belief of what it could have been. But thirdly, it can be that we came to realizations in the pursuit of achieving what we had set out for. This is normal, and this is why a lot of people don't hit that big milestone goal that they always thought they would achieve. It'd be like, how many friends did I have who want to become doctors, lawyers, engineers, and all this stuff that they had planned out in their heads. It's not that they failed necessarily, but rather value was placed on new things they were experiencing, changing that mindset of what they thought was important to them. So when we're looking at ourselves, we have to sit down and really ask, what is that destination? Is it still what we want, or has it changed a bit? Is there any variables that are playing the factor of changing our overall outlook? So in order to really look at this and ask yourself, where am I at in this situation I'm in with the destination that I had originally planned and where I'm at right now, is very simply to start looking at the eagle eye look approach, where you're staring down at the whole timeline and asking yourself, is this really the path I should be on? Firstly, we want to look at the journey. Is the journey becoming more of a negative narrative instead of a positive narrative? If it is a positive narrative and that grandiose is taking over and you're headed in the right direction, everything's working out, well, you really are in a good place. You don't really need to worry about much other than the fact that things could come up that could derail your plans. In that case, how are you going to deal with it? If your narrative is more negative and you're seeing that end target becoming more and more of something you don't want to be doing, and you're not sure if it's what you want to be doing, or maybe it's not what you expected to see as the big thing you needed to achieve in your life, well, now we want to ask ourselves, is it the negative narrative that's causing this? Or is it some other factor, some other external factor coming into play, causing you to really doubt yourself in the decision you made as that final destination, that target that you had set, that was the end all and be all of what you wanted to do with the new purpose you had set? If it is the narrative, then I encourage you to keep going and working on the shortcomings you are having right now, because really that negative narrative is changing that outlook that you're seeing. It's like that tunnel vision they talk about, where you're seeing just what you want to see, which is all the negative instead of all the positive. it's countless times that I talk to people who are on this path and they give up, to only see their idea about a year or 2 years later come to realization by somebody else who has made it big with it and took it to the next level that they had already, started, envisioned it, and quit on. If it is these external factors coming in where you've had these experiences and all of a sudden you want to start looking at a different direction, well then this final destination may not be the one for you, in which case you need to really analyze yourself and ask, is this time that I should take to really analyze what are the pros and cons of continuing? Which brings me to point number 2. If this is the case, well now you want to look at it and say to yourself, where am I going with this? Let me really look at all the values I hold within me with the thing I'm doing right now, and then look at all the new values that are starting to creep up on me that I really have found a newfound love for, and let's look at this whole total picture of what you really want to be doing down the road. Again, this applies for anything. It goes from business, startups, careers, to relationships. Values will change based on experiences, people you meet, the things that are happening in your life, the occurrences that are happening. And because of this, that end target will change. Somebody was talking to me about, money isn't everything, and I want more than just money. Well, do you have enough money to do all the things you really want to do without money? Well, no. Okay, so then what are you going to do? Well, they sat there and they thought about it, and they're like, well, I'm really good at the skill set and I really love doing this, and it'll give me the time to do all the stuff I really want to do if I really make that work. Meanwhile, what they were doing was all based on money. It was all based on hitting it big. And they realized that they could just flip the idea and go jump into this other side where, they could make that average living that they want to have, so they can spend and enjoy time with everything else they want to be doing, because their values had changed in the process of that time that they were spending on making it big with the big idea. Is this you? Is it you that you've realized that this could be happening? And if it is, we need to take this similar approach. What are the things that you can do right now where opportunities can open up such that you can take advantage of them, so that you can see yourself in that new direction? This is all about finding purpose. This destination, the final destination of whatever idea you had in your head for whatever topic you were working towards, whether it is business, relationships, or careers. Well, now is the time to do it when you're in this state. I've worked on many startups, many different businesses. I've been involved in many corporations. I've taught. I've done a whole bunch of stuff. And a lot of the things have brought me into the place where I am right now. It's taken time, and every time I had to look at myself and ask myself, what is it right now that's best for Nikos? And honestly, I go into that mindset of third person talk. What's best for Nikos? What is happening with Nikos right now? What direction does Nikos has to go in? And who needs to be involved in life right now into this environment, and who doesn't need to be there? That works with any kind of relationship that I was in, whether it was in business or careers or, personal relationships. At the end of the day, we all go through this, whether we like it or not. Some of us make the decisions to do it, while others wait for life to make the decision. This is why, businesses don't go the way they should, or careers don't go the way they should, like getting moved out of a job, or being let go, or finding a job by accident because you were talking to somebody that you never thought would be able to give you the opportunity you found, or even relationships where even though the relationship is really good, it comes to its ending, or you have to you find that relationship that was really bad and eventually it falls apart because there is an end point and you're just holding on by the strings trying to keep it together. The final destination will change, and in different areas of our lives it will change, and in different time points in our lives it will change. The question is, how much of a control do we want to have on those? How much of a control do we want to place in our hands when these decisions occur, and we can make them or just sit back and let life make them for us. I remember one time when I was sitting there looking at myself going, I will never be in that situation again where I don't have enough money to do the things that I need to do. And it changed my output of being stuck in a position where somebody is telling me how much I'm going to make every month, because it didn't give me the opportunity to do the things I needed to do when I needed to do them. And some may say, well, you know, it's not about money, as I stated before, but it is about money. It is about money because everything revolves around money. And at the end of the day, we don't have the same value on money. And some people, like I gave the example before, some people see the value of money at this level where others see it up here. And this could change at any one moment. Nobody values money the same way. Everybody has a different outlook of what the future holds and how much money they need to have in their pocket, and they will work towards whatever they see as that value. This is very simple. That narrative that we're seeing in these steps, we need to really address them and say to ourselves, am I creating a negative narrative or is it a positive one? And have these external factors changed that value set I have in myself? Because this all falls back to integrity. Integrity, we have to uphold no matter what. And yes, our values within that integrity may change. Over time, it's a given that they will change because things occur, things happen. The best example is to see how this whole thing with Trump is happening, and you're seeing the switch of people where, you know, where they were really right, they're becoming more left, and where they were really left, they're becoming more right because they're seeing different things that they want, need, and value. They're coming out, and it's interesting to see how society is changing and adapting to what is occurring. And at the end of the day, where are we sitting as our own selves, our personal selves, and what do we really want to see in the future? One thing we can all agree on is all based on freedom and having freedom. But what does that mean with our values in place, intact, and how they are changing? What is that for our final destination? What is freedom, and how does money play attuned to that? How does our own personal well-being, how we feel, our mindset, and of course, our relationships that people are involved in them, the love portion, how does that all fit together in that final stage of where we're heading to? Of course, things will change. And of course, that final destination of where we're heading to with our purpose and mission in life, that big goal we had set out, will change. The question is, where are you in this big thought process that you need to be going through? And if you look at it from that eagle eye view that I talked about, I think things can start clearing up a lot quicker than you have been thinking they would ever be clearing up. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit a like, hit a subscribe. Of course, leave a comment below and tell us about that moment where you didn't make that decision that you should have made, but you sat back and let life take its time and take its course and make a decision for you. And how would things have been different, or did you do and take that chance and make the decision and go for it? And how did that turn out for you?